Hey, wake up, man. What are you doing?
Oh, sorry. I'm sort of jet lagged and sleep deprived.
I can't and will never understand you, man. Welcome again to Great Combos, where we always say whether you agree or disagree, you can always find great combos and no sleeping here at all. I'm Roger Caesar, and that gentleman who is still jet lagged.
Hi, I'm Alexandre, Matt, just coming back from the National Conference of Storytellers of Canada, Conteurs du Canada in Victoria, British Columbia.
Oh man, and we are going to have a great conversation with Alexandre all about that and much more. But first and foremost, we want to say welcome to all of our loyal listeners. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it. Hey, John, what's going on? There's a familiar name right there. We haven't seen there in the comments before, but good to see the yes man in the house. Appreciate that. Wow, listen, Alex, today is all about you, man. Yes, last week we had it all about myself and what I went through, but you just had yourself an exciting conference that you were headlining and being the keynote speaker there. So we want to know first and foremost, how did it go at that conference?
It went great, but let me do a quick correction. I wasn't keynote speaker or headliner. I was one of many storytellers in one of
Okay.
the two concerts that we had at this storytelling conference.
Mhm.
I was also giving one of the master classes on the Wednesday
Very nice.
before the opening ceremonies. But I
Nice.
also presiding or chairing the members meeting on the Sunday morning. Yeah, it's a lot of things, but I'm just there for the ride as the president and as one of the presenters. I got to give all of the credit to the organizers of this conference, Andrea Brimmel
Mhm.
and her team from Victoria. They did a fantastic job. It was really well run. I loved it.
All right. Shout out to them. Well, Alex, on that topic, please tell us a little bit more about the Storytellers of Canada for those who may have never heard of it or may be interested in it.
Mm. Well, Storytellers of Canada is the national bilingual, what do you call it? A national arts service organization.
Mhm.
What does this mean? It means that we are here to help our members, our storytellers, all across the
Mhm.
country, whether they be professional storytellers or not, but also storytelling guilds or groups throughout the country. So many provinces have their own storytelling uh, organization. Uh,
Mhm.
Communities such as Victoria has their own.
Mhm.
So we are here to serve them. Whatever is is good for the storytelling community, but also storytelling as an art form, but also as a I could say as a human way of living.
Right. And I saw that their mission statement is devoted to connecting people, reflecting cultures, and inspiring learning and creativity through the art of storytelling. And of course, the it all started back in 19, I believe it was 1993
Hmm.
by Rosalind Cohen, who
Right?
was at an event, a national meeting in Montreal, and that's kind of what got it all started. But with all that history and where it all started, why did you personally get involved?
Yeah. So these storytellers from all across the country met in 1992 in Montreal and founded the organization in 1993 and became more official later on. In 2000, became a nonprofit and a national service organization um, recognized by the Canada Council for the Arts, le Conseil des Arts du Canada. Why did I join? Because well, in 2018, I I received the yearly prize of Conteur Emergent, the emerging teller of the year. Every year we have one or two emerging tellers from somewhere in the country. I didn't know it was a contest, but I entered a contest and I, I won the award, and that got me started as a professional storyteller. This year we had two of them. They were absolutely phenomenal. One of them each on the Friday concert and the Saturday concert. So we see like this new talent that's coming up, and I'm thinking it was 8 years ago that I started with the organization and with that particular title or recognition. And I've seen others do it since then, including Stephanie Holt, who when the conference was in Sudbury, she was one of the emerging tellers, and now she has launched her professional storytelling career. So we see what it does for this new generation of storytellers. So I started as an emerging teller, not sure, am I a storyteller or not? Is this a career that I can do? And with the help of the organization and especially its members throughout Canada, that's what helped me launch my own storytelling career. And
you say that with regards to your storytelling career. I mean, we're both speakers. We both know the importance, and I guess I will ask you first and foremost a two-part question. We both have our ideas as to why it's important to do storytelling. I'd like to know, and for our audience members, why do you find it so important to incorporate storytelling whenever you're doing your speaking? And then secondly, the career path that you chose by going to schools and teaching the youth why it's important.
How much time do we have?
Come on, just like how we do with all our guests, man.
Yeah, I'll try to stay succinct. Well, it all began in 1980. You mentioned the mission statement earlier, and one of the parts is connecting people. That's the power of story. So not just as a speaker or when we're presenting something, but the importance of being human to human, person to person. When I did my masterclass on Wednesday, it was about personal stories. A lot of our members, a lot of professional storytellers tell traditional tales or old folk tales, and I wanted to share with them the importance of doing personal stories. It turns out that most of my participants in the class were already telling personal stories, but we went deeper in why and how. So I called my master class "You Are the Hero," meaning you're the principal character of your story. And not only when you're telling in front of a official audience, but when you're meeting someone, when you tell your personal stories, it's way more interesting than talking about the weather or the dog going by, right? You get to really meet and connect with people, with individuals. So this is true with individuals one-on-one, but it's also true with people, connecting people to each other. Each time that the conference happens, it's in a different city every year. And not only do people from all over the country meet in one spot, but we also meet with the people there. And I don't mean just the people not just the people who are hosting us at the conference, but the people who were there before Canada was even a country. We take great pride in making sure that wherever we go, we are greeted or hosted by the First Nations who live there, who've lived there long before this was a country known as Canada. So connecting peoples is individually, but also between peoples of this big land, between the Francophones or French Canadians and English and new immigrants, but also, and maybe especially, the First Nations of Canada all over the country. And when we share stories, not just personal stories, but stories about our peoples, then I think we get a little closer to becoming more cohesive as a country.
Well, we learn more about each other. Well, when we learn more about each other, and that open dialogue begins to happen in creating that either the similarities, the differences, and seeing where there is a middle ground, so to speak. So
Right.
learning more about other cultures like that is very important. And in storytelling, it is important to do just that. So I get that. Now, why now have you decided that it was important for your career or for your path and journey to go into schools and start teaching the importance of storytelling to the youth and the future leaders of tomorrow?
Well, I think there are two answers to that question. Firstly, when I started, it was with children rather than youth. Yeah, so with like grade 2, 4, 5.
Right.
2, 4, 5. I didn't even say 3. So from see, I'm sleep deprived. I
We
forget
got to
my
get him
numbers.
back into math class. We got to get him in math class again.
I'm storytelling and I forget how to count. Yeah, I started with very young children, so not really telling personal stories, but getting them to talk and think in a storytelling way.
Right.
And why? Because, well, simple answer is that I had children of that age when I started, and it was easy to get into their class.
Right.
And I found out, okay, this is a really great crowd. I love being in front of the younger children. And when I started with youth or high school, it was a little intimidating at first because some of them are taller than I am, and they really let you know when you're boring them. I had to work even harder, but it's become my favorite audience, teenagers, for that same reason, because they are so expressive in letting you know what they're feeling, what they're thinking. And why is it important? Because I think that, like you've heard many times, I don't have anything to share. I don't have any stories.
Yes.
There's nothing important about me.
Yes.
I hear that from every age, but
Yes.
especially with young students, with young adults, or with teenagers. And when I'm with them, I hope to get them to realize that even when they're sharing simple stories of simple moments, they have a lot of wisdom. And really, truly, I learn something from them as well.
Of course.
When they share their stories. So that's why I keep doing this with youth.
And we've often heard it's sometimes with the attention span, especially with the younger kids in the grades 1, 2, 3, and 4. How have you been able to keep their attention going for so long and letting them feel the importance of storytelling, learning how to tell stories, and getting involved in a fun way?
Well, do you remember these things?
Yes.
A few weeks ago, we talked about the dice, storytelling dice. And was Christine there? Did I see Christine's name here? Yeah, Christine got me using these dice as a tool to get people talking. I use this with my with my masterclass with professional storytellers. It works too. I mean, it works with everyone. It's like magic. But when I share this and I get the youth to speak, they open up, and even with their best friends in class, usually when I pair them up, they get with their friends that they've known for a long time, but they still learn things about each other because they can go deeper when they really tell stories. And because when we tell a story, it's not just, oh well, I did this the other day, I went to the movies. No, it's about failures and or successes and conflict and relationships. So when we share true stories, we open up, and I love seeing that.
Yeah, and I just had here, I wanted to also give a shout out to Christine, who was one of our guests just a few weeks ago. But she also said here that they're still raving over your workshop that you did. And then, of course, we have McKinley. Shout out to McKinley, who's asking, is there a link to this masterclass on storytelling?
Great question. There's no link to that masterclass. That was a bilingual masterclass, mostly in French. I asked all the attendees to be able to speak or at least understand in both languages, so it could really be interactive, and another way, of course, of meeting cultures. So there's no link to that masterclass. It's over. It wasn't one thing, but there are always other possibilities to join a workshop or a masterclass that I do. In fact, Roger, there might be something that you and I are working on together right now.
We are. Yes, we are. So we'll keep everybody waiting for that. It's coming soon. That Alex and I are really working on something very special for you. But we got this from McKinley. Tell us a little more about the dice.
Sure, I'll try to be brief.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 dice, and it's basically the first one is just to find out what moment of your life can you talk about. Is it, for example, so you roll it and then you look at the drawing on it. You can talk about a success. You see, it's a trophy, a success, or a failure, an objective or a goal that you have, like this.
Right.
Or, oh, this is one of the best. This is a little embarrassed person. So think about an embarrassing moment in your life. Or here's a star. So it's thinking about something that you tried for the first time or something new. Oh, and the last one is, if you turn it this way, it looks like fish, but it's actually little people. So a moment when you were with other people, with family or friends. So
can I say that it gives them an opportunity to ignite their thought process and how they can put something together?
Yeah. So when you're thinking, I don't know what I can talk about, just think about one of these questions, especially like what are some failures, embarrassing moments, or something that you try for the first time, and you'll start thinking about these things. And the other 2 dice are just other prompts to help you uncover what happened during that experience. I'll give you just one example. So if you think about I don't know, Roger, why don't you share with me a failure, just in one sentence?
It's 2018 at the World Championship of Public Speaking semifinals. Absolutely thought that I was going to win my semifinals. Found out that I didn't, and it was my 3rd time being there. And I thought that I had not only failed myself, but I embarrassed my district. So I'll leave it at that. Simple. So, you're right. It just comes to you,
Big failure. So if I roll the second dice or second die, and I look at this, it turns on this question mark, so a doubt. So in that whole experience, what was a moment when you doubted yourself?
Right. It was in that moment. I thought that this would have been my last opportunity. See how easy it is? Even right now, when I'm doing it, it's so easy to put it together. So it's really good. And we also had some people here who were actually asking. We had 2 people. We've got Karen and we have McKinley asking the same question. Where can we get these dice?
Right here.
Maybe you can if there's somewhere where they can actually purchase it, or
that's a great question.
There we go.
Christine has the answer. So these are my creation. I ordered the blank dice. I drew on them and then I varnished them so that it worked well.
There you go.
We've got at least 2 people who are interested, so I'll see. Maybe I can market this. And
there you go. Right,
millions selling dice.
Yeah. So Alex, this is really good that we're able to sit down and really dive deep into your ideas and thought processes with regards to storytelling. If there are people who are still wondering, like, what is most important when it comes to storytelling and how do you connect, what would you say it is? And I mean, you've had a lot of experience. I've had a lot of experience, but in your illustrious journey, whether it's through Toastmasters or doing this now, what is it that really is the key in storytelling?
Vulnerability, authenticity. If you really want to connect with someone, talk to them about your own failures. And it doesn't need to be big failures, especially if you don't know the person really well. Like you don't meet someone in the street and say, I battled cancer, and when I went to the top of the Everest mountain, it was really difficult. Well, I mean, that's going a little too deep with a person you've just met. But maybe you can talk about how you missed the bus the other day, and you had to run. So you're talking about
simplifying
simple things to start with, and that gets the ball rolling, and maybe that's when you start connecting. If it's sometimes it might be in the context of, I don't know, a networking event. So then even if you don't know the person, you can go into something a little deeper, like talking about your career and how you failed before succeeding in whatever
Mm-hmm.
career you have, or how you're struggling now and trying to figure things out. So it's really opening up and not hesitating to share things that might not feel natural to share. Again, to go beyond the weather and a funny thing happened on the way here. Or although a funny thing happened on the way here is a good icebreaker.
Even Christine says here, you could talk about failures without mining your traumas.
Right. Yeah, because you don't want to traumatize the person that you've just met.
And have them like run away from you. I think this is always important for everyone, whatever age group you may be, to understand that we all have stories, right? We all have stories that we could share. There is no such thing as I don't have any stories at all. Everybody has a story. The minute you wake up in the morning, you begin a brand new story. That's how I look at it. The minute you wake up in the morning, you begin a brand new story. And so if you actually open your eyes and look at it from that perspective, you can see so many different things that are happening within the day, let alone your life itself. But if you close your mind to that, you don't see all those things. So it's great on you, especially with the Storytellers of Canada, that they have a place where people can learn different techniques, different styles, different ways in which they can tell stories, not just from the personal, but you said from folk, from other ways of sharing stories. But also what I really was intrigued about was the idea of learning about different cultures, different other people, how to learn what they do. That's a story. Learning about that person's culture and what they do, and how you can incorporate that into your own story in some way, shape, or form. And that you're the hero, right? I like that too, because we're often taught that we cannot be the hero of our story. But the way you're saying it right now is that you can be. And I like that.
Yeah, you can be your own. What's this? Who's this?
I love this, man.
Looks like me. This was the cover
we gotta,
image.
We got to make one of those too, man. We got to break one of those for sure.
That was the cover image for my masterclass. You are the hero. To be clear, this is not me. This is an AI version of me created by Microsoft Copilot.
I love it. I absolutely love that, man. Now, do you have a little bit of video just before we leave here? Do you have a little video to show what happened at your masterclass? A little taste for our audience here.
I don't have videos of the masterclass. I do have a clip from the show or the concert on Saturday.
Okay, a little bit.
You want to hear it?
Let's hear it, a little bit of it.
Let's see.
If we can get a little bit before we take off here.
The weather. Freestyle Ski Canada's official water ramp. There's a big pool. Yeah, smart, eh? Smart mogul skiing. So you can practice things in the air, une pirouette, a backflip, a spread eagle, without risking big injury. Because it's better to go zwee splash instead of zwee. Ask me how I know. Yeah, it was absolutely fun to be on that stage. 8 years after I was on the stage of Storytellers of Canada for the first time, and like an emerging teller, unsure about himself, a little intimidated because all these storytellers have so much more experience than I did, and a lot of them came to me after and offered me their support and their ideas, including you don't need to hammer the message at the end. Just tell your story. We're going to get it. So that's something that I really took out from being a member of this organization and being with storytellers. And then so throughout the years, I've tried to figure out what is exactly my style. What am I doing? And it has evolved thanks to the members, including Christine that we see who's very participative today, who have helped me, and other people who are.
she was also the former president as well, correct?
That's right.
She was
Christine is the past president,
you are the current one.
and my dear friend as well. So I was treasurer when she was president, and she gently twisted my arm to encourage me to become president. She thought, I think you can do it, and I will support you. And because she was there, I was able to accept.
Shout out to Christine. Thank you very much. Well, Alex, we've reached the end of our time, and we could have gone on for longer, but as always, we have to shut it down for today. Alex, any last thoughts on the importance of storytelling, please?
Well, let me do another shout out to Andrea, because we do have, oh, wait a minute, that's not the right guy. This is the last day, and we're saying thank you to the organizing committee right here. Andrea's in the middle. So thank you so much for that. The conference was superb. Now, about storytelling, I shared just a bit about the sharing of cultures or connecting peoples, and when we're talking in Canada about truth and reconciliation, the First Nations of Canada, who have gotten the settlers, when they came into Canada, undid a whole history of peoples who were here for thousands of years. And I think we're just realizing in the past generation or two that not only was that very bad, but a huge tragedy, but that we can try to reconcile truth and reconciliation, tell the truth of what has happened, where we are, where we came from. So the people who come from the European settlers, but also the First Nations, when we share our own stories, and this was fascinating. Every conference that we go, when we meet people from the when I meet people, it's like there's no like hard feelings. There's no victim mentality. They're just sharing their stories, and it's like, okay, that was in the past. What can we do for the future? And the future includes more sharing between peoples of this great land.
Thank you very much. Well said. And on that note, we want you to continue sharing your stories, sharing your experiences. And you never know, as we've always said before, that your story can change the life of someone. It only takes one, and that's all it is. But you sharing your stories, being vulnerable, and allowing yourself to give your experiences to someone else who might be in need of it can be immeasurable. Well, we've come to the end. And as we always say here at Great Convos, whether you agree or disagree, you can always find great combos. Take care. And we have a special guest coming next week. Quickly, did you want to say his name?
Sure. Let's say it quickly. His name is Richard Marceau, a very unique individual. We're going to talk about mixed identity. A lot of people are of mixed identities. They have parents from two different places, or origins from two different or more places, including Richard Marceau, who is Jewish and French Canadian from Quebec, but not, and you might know someone else who has that sort of mix, this guy. But Richard Marceau is even more rare because he is also a sovereigntist, a separatist. Right. He would like Quebec to be its own country. And a Jewish French Canadian who also wants Quebec to separate as its own country. Besides Richard, I have not met anybody else who fits that description. So it's going to be fascinating to learn more about him, his story, and what his mixed identity means.
All right. So tune in next week, everyone. Until then, have yourself a safe week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.